So, interim aircraft, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode of BizJet TV. What is an interim aircraft? We're then going to look at the causes of why there's a surge in the trend here. We're going to be talking about the current market and what's brought to the market to being what it is today. And we're going to talk about 2023 and what I predict is going to happen in the private jet market for 2023. So tune in on this episode, go all the way to the end because there's lots of interesting juicy information here for you. And if you're new to BizJet TV, I encourage you to subscribe. You can also become a member of BizJet TV clicking on the join button. There's 3 membership levels, which gives you access to exclusive content here on BizJet TV, all about private aviation and lots more here on this channel. I'm your host Fabrizio Poli. Let's get into today's episode, and let's start by looking at what sales have been like over the last 4 years, because this is to understand the interim aircraft. Now, before I get into the sales bit, the interim aircraft is something that you need for a few months or a year while you're waiting for your aircraft to be delivered or while your aircraft is in maintenance to replace your aircraft. That's all. Alternatively, you can also use an interim aircraft as a try before you buy for 6 months to a year, see what it's like to actually have your own private jet available 24/7. So that's what an interim jet is. And now we're going to talk about why this is so on the increase right now. Now, if we look at sales, 2017, there were 1,883 aircraft sold. 2018, that number went up to 1,998. Then it went down in 2019 to 1,690. 2020, it went slightly up to 1,796. Then 2021, it went right up to 2,585. And so far this year, as of the end of October, 2,045 aircraft were sold. So I think that number will probably close at about 2,100 and something by the end of the year. So slightly down compared to the previous year. But, you know, there's more people wanting to buy private jets. In fact, if you look at the number of people that can afford a private jet, about 10 to 13% of those people have now jumped into the market or jumping into the market. That's interesting. And also the average age of the person now getting into private aviation, as far as chartering or buying or whatever, is 20 years younger. And this is an interesting trend. And also fuel prices have stabilized now. They may come down a little bit more, which is going to help as well. The other thing which is interesting, and all this plays into the demand for interim aircraft, is the cost of maintenance has gone up, also because the cost of materials has gone up, and it's also taking longer to get spare parts. So OEMs are delaying deliveries of aircraft because all the bits, you know, for the seats, for the flaps, for the engines and everything, all these parts are being delayed because factories were shut down during the lockdown, and so there's a bit of a backlog, and then there's an increase in demand. So consequently, you know, we're needing more parts to build aircraft, and it's just taking longer to get them through. And so all these factors have kind of converged into each other. Also add the fact that there's a pilot shortage, and that's been caused by the airlines having a lot of pilots go into early retirement, and now airline travel has resumed, and there aren't enough pilots. In fact, in America now, you can get an H-1B visa for a pilot. So if you're a foreign pilot watching this, you can actually get a job in the US now as a pilot. Or if you're an American and you want to employ a pilot and you can't find one in the US, you can actually employ a foreign pilot with an H-1B visa. And there's lots of pilots out there that love to come and live and work in America. And so there's an opportunity there for you. Now, so all these factors converging and causing this surge in demand for interim aircraft. I mean, here at Orville Aviation, we've been inundated in the last 3 or 4 weeks with requests for this kind of thing. We've got a few already in the making, and some already flying, which is good. And you know, we've got aircraft available, and we've got, you know, people wanting aircraft. So it's happening on both fronts, because owners that may have a spare aircraft are thinking, well, you know what, my new aircraft, you know, has already been delivered. I was thinking of selling this one, but I see, you know, I could lease it for a year and maybe make some money on the lease and then sell it maybe at the same price I'd sell it this year. But in the meantime, I'll make some money. So that's what the owners are thinking. And then on the other spectrum, you've got all these new people coming into the market, all those people that have got their aeroplane into maintenance and they need an aeroplane for 6 months while the aeroplane's, you know, going through maintenance and that. So these are all the things that are happening. So the interim demand is there. That's what interim aircraft does. And, you know, these leases are interesting trend on the market right now. Now, what's my prediction for 2023? I think this demand for interim aircraft is going to continue. I think we're still going to see more and more people jumping into the market. A lot of people are still, not a lot, but a few people are still sitting on the fence, hoping that the situation with airline travel is going to improve. It's not going to improve, okay? This whole thing of taking 3 or 4 hours to get on an airplane now is unfortunately here to stay. Airlines have got all sorts of problems, mainly crew. They haven't got enough crew. And, training pilots and putting them through the system takes time. You can't just go and fly an airline with 200 hours out of flight school. Also, the other thing is there are less people wanting to be pilots, and you can check the video I did recently about flight school dilemmas. At the end of this one, there'll be a link to that, and that explains what's happening there. Now, for 2023, all this is going to continue. I think, in the US, they will still continue to hire foreign pilots. I think the demand for aircraft is going up. But another thing which I see happening, and we've had a number of people that have got cryptocurrency, wanting to buy aircraft in cryptocurrency. So if you are deciding to sell your aircraft, I would suggest to consider taking the payment in crypto, because there's a lot of people now with crypto, and crypto is going to start going up in the new year, and we're going to see cryptocurrency becoming more and more, accepted by the man on the street, and also by pension funds and things like that. So crypto is going to start to become something of more of, I'm not saying a household thing, but more people are going to start adopting crypto in 2023 and 2024. And consequence of this, cryptocurrency is already coming into the business jet market, with some charter companies accepting payments in crypto, some maintenance companies accepting payments in crypto, and now we're going to see some transactions of aircraft happening exclusively in crypto. So far, about 20 to 25 aircraft have been sold in crypto, but it's been through an exchange, so the cryptocurrency has been changed into dollars and then the aircraft sold. But we're going to see aircraft sold solely, it'll be a solely crypto transaction, and this is going to be happening in 2023. So the OEMs will start to accept crypto, and it's going to be interesting to see which will be the first OEM to accept payment in cryptocurrency. So post your prediction below on that one. Let's get the conversation going. Is it going to be Gulfstream? Is it going to be Dassault? Is it going to be Embraer? Is it going to be Bombardier, Cessna? Who's going to be the first private jet manufacturer to accept payments in cryptocurrency for aircraft? Let's get that one going. Maybe we'll get a poll going as well on that one. I'll post a poll maybe on LinkedIn, and one also here for the members subscribing to exclusive content here on BizJet TV. So let's get the conversation going. What's your thought? If you need an interim aircraft, you can reach out to me. You see my email here, and we can have a conversation about that, see what we can do to help you with an interim aircraft. And if you haven't subscribed to BizJet TV, subscribe to the channel, become a exclusive member here, clicking on the join button. There's 3 membership levels. You can accept there and have a look and see which membership level will work for you. And also give me a super thanks if you enjoyed this video, and also check this one out on Flight School Dilemmas, where we talk about the pilot shortage and what's happening in the flight school market, and why more people are learning to fly. That's all that in this video here called Flight School Dilemmas. And that's all for Fabrizio Parli here on BizJet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.